Okay, maybe we figured this out. If we did, we should be okay. I'm not even gonna do my intro yet because I have no idea if this is all working. Okay, it looks good. It looks like we're all set. What's going on, guys? We're here because another live stream. We are here not on zombies today, but instead on something else. We are going to be doing the ranking of all the zombie maps. So before we get into our massive Ultimate Zombies challenge, challenges game mode, was it that thing that we're gonna be doing? Before we're gonna get in that, we're gonna start by ranking everything first, and then moving on from there. And then after we complete this challenge, or maybe after we do like World at War or something like that, we'll revisit this. We'll revisit it, see if any of our ideas of the map actually change throughout it, because obviously some of these maps are built strictly on nostalgia. You know, maybe some past times with them, and overall after the challenges, it might be a bad map after we play it. Okay, so little side thing. All these maps, oh wait, yeah, there we go. All these maps here, the one in the NA, we're not even going to be playing, right? So anything from the Tortured Path, Carrier, Ancient Evil, Descent, Zombies in Spaceland, Tag und Toten. Even though I could potentially do these, one, Black Ops 4 is terrible. World War II Zombies, terrible. Infinite Warfare, Zombies in Spaceland's not bad, but other than that, pretty bad. And then obviously there's Vanguard Zombies, stuff like that, which the only one I would potentially play would be Shinonuma on Vanguard, but I'm not going to download Vanguard just for one map, so we're not even going to worry about that. We're going to be focusing on World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and then Black Ops 3 Zombies, aka the good zombie maps. So I actually have them all kind of in order already of how we're actually going to be playing them. And side note, what we're going to try doing for, we're more than likely going to buy Buried. Okay, more than likely we're going to pick this guy up. However, I don't know, is that big enough? Yeah, it should be good. Okay, I just want to make sure that everything was big enough for everything. I guess I could potentially. No, because once we get into, man, we're gonna see here if we can just make it a little, just a little bit bigger. Oh, I don't know what I'm grabbing there, dude. They changed the Alright, updated OBS, and I must say, not a fan. Not a fan at all. Okay, I mean it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit bigger there. All right, so we're not gonna speed run necessarily through this because I actually want to make it somewhat of a stream, talk about each map a little bit, and kind of dig into where I'm going to kind of come up with some of the criteria and stuff like that. And a lot more of it's going to be throughout when we play it too, of kind of my experience playing it. You know, obviously all the challenges we're going to be doing with it. So it really tests the versatility of these maps too. And best thing is, some of these maps get 2 shots at it. Meaning there's Shinonuma in Call of Duty or World at War that I believe I have, and then there's also on the other side of it there's Black Ops 3. We do not have the Black Ops 1 so but we are going to be getting Buried. Origins, we are let me talk about that stuff first. So Tag und Toten is what it is. Both our World at War as well as Zombie Chronicles or Black Ops 3 Tag und Toten both of those maps are going to be evaluated as the same thing. Verrückt is going to be strictly Black Ops 1. Shinonuma will have the two rankings with it, essentially. Durries and the Giant are the same thing, honestly. I'm going to rank them 2 different ones. But honestly, I'm pretty sure I'm going to put them at the same spot just because they play very similar to what they're, like, the game style that it is. Kino, obviously, Black Ops 1, as well as Black Ops 3. 5, just Black Ops 1. Ascension will be Black Ops 3. Call of Dead will be Black Ops 1. Shangri-La, Black Ops 3. Moon, Black Ops 3. And then we get into Black Ops 2, where we have Bus Depot, Diner. I think I actually don't know if Diner is. I think, isn't that the what is it? Where it's like the infected one. I'm actually not 100% sure. So Diner, we're gonna put as a normal, like, wild card thing here because I'm actually not sure if I even have Diner. Town, Farm, obviously we'll be able to play. Transit will be able to play. Die Rise will more than likely won't play. This is gonna be a base ranking. I'm gonna see if I can maybe find a mod that has Die Rise and maybe just do like some little stuff with it. But we're not gonna worry about it too much. I think I actually should put my face cam. Or I guess I can just scoot up when I'm talking, I guess. About like right here. In a way. Right? Where'd my oh, there it is. I was like, where's my cursor on this thing? There we go. Okay. Mob of Dead will be playing on Black Ops 2. Buried, like I said, we're probably going to be purchasing. Origins will be strictly Black Ops 3. Even though I think the Easter egg and all that will be easier in Black Ops 2. But the map itself is more difficult because of the 2-hit system. So, you know, it's whatever. That's why we can't have nice things. Spilled juice all over myself. Very nice. Then we got Shadows, Giant, Horizons, Zetsubo, Gorod, and Revelations. Okay, so almost all of these we're going to be able to at least play in some way or another. Some of them are going to have 2 chances to really stick out from the crowd a little bit. If it was Shinonuma, it would actually have 3 if we did decide to do Vanguard, but I doubt we will. But we're going to start off now with Nacht. Okay, now Nacht got a lot of help with with Chronicles because it enhances its ability for challenges, just the longevity of it. This was like a maybe a round 20 kind of map back in the day, because you had no pack-a-punch, all you had was the ray gun, and to be fair, I know people are gonna be like, oh, the nostalgia factor for it. No. I mean, don't get me wrong, Nocturne Totem's the first thing ever. You know, it did what it was supposed to do, I guess, like as a baseline thing. But you can't, at the end of the day, like if you go back to zombies, you can't put that, like, no one wants to play Noct. In a way, like if you were saying, hey, let's do a challenge or whatever, it's on other maps. There's more versatility on all these other maps than Noct, and the occasional 1 or 2, like the early rounds in Noct is definitely what just puts you off because they take forever, especially in World at War. So Zombie Chronicles did a little bit better of a job with this, with speeding up those early rounds, but still, it's not that great. By the way, NA, just to let everyone know, again, we're not ranking these. We're not even gonna be playing them. It's gonna be these ones, and then after every game that we play, like after we're done with World at War, or after we're done with the first game that came out, essentially. So even though we're gonna be playing Verrückt on Black Ops 3, we're still gonna make it to where the whole DLC cycle of, I bet, let me switch those. Oh, hello, there we go. Just want to switch those ones back over. when we're done with Noct, Verrückt, Shinonuma, and Darice, we'll just revisit this really quick, just see if any of those kind of changed. That way it's still fresh in our mind of like, hey, would be what you would have in a single game disc, and how does that play in a sense, okay? So yeah, Noct over there gets a little bit more versatility with Black Ops 3, but overall, play one game and then you're kind of over it. Verrückt is very similar for a complete opposite reason. This thing literally is just pain. Verrückt used to be one of those maps that, like, growing up, I just never really played. Like, no one really played it ever, like, online in general. You would maybe find, like, one match, but it was pretty hard to find. Even, like, after Darice came out, it was hard to find a match on Verrückt, because everyone either had Noct or Darice. And then especially when Black Ops 1 came out, it was like, forget about Verrückt, because like no one's playing it. And yeah, I'm gonna put there. Now the only reason why is difficulty a thing of, oh, like, I'm gonna put a D. I don't think I can put it F, because I don't think I can put difficulty over the actual game itself. The good thing about Verrückt is it has the atmosphere with it. Obviously it has perks. Black Ops 3 again makes it at least a viable thing with Gobblegum, stuff like that, to try to kind of enhance the experience a little bit. But it's a tough map even with any enhancements that you have. And I think they did it right though, but I wish there was maybe like one room that you could actually like maybe train pretty well in, or just something like where it was like, I know there's that one like little catwalk, but like it's a just difficult map. I feel like this one, for being the second ever release, I'm glad they didn't stick with that formula and they hit right in the middle. And this is one of my favorite maps, honestly. It's Shinonuma. Now, I'm not saying it's the best map, because innovation-wise, obviously, like, what you can do with it, I think you can do quite a bit with, like, base-level Shinonuma. Like, you know, like, you can, like, what I used to always love doing is we would do hut hopping, essentially. Instead of the catwalk kind of strategies on every other map, you would follow the box, because you constantly needed ammo, so you would just keep hitting box, getting like better and better weapons. Obviously whoever had like the PPSH, Wunderwaffe, those guys, and ray guns, but in not every game could you find those, and so you're just constantly hitting the box till you are set, the MG, Browning, those kind of things. And when a 4-player game, you had 2 people chilling like outside the hut and 2 people guarding the windows, and like I said, you would literally be just hitting the box, you would make it move, go to the next hut, have the same strategy. Obviously you have the traps, stuff like that, but I enjoyed this one above all of the like map packs in World at War. It was unfortunate that when Black Ops 1 came out, and even towards the end of World at War season, because obviously now you think about, there's Modern Warfare 2 out, so a lot of the community's not even like focusing on zombies in general. Shinonuma definitely took a hit. It was hard to find, like, it was almost impossible to find matches on Verrückt, but you could at least find maybe a few matches occasionally on Shinonuma, which kind of sucked, but I still enjoyed it. And this was obviously before I really did a lot of solo. I started playing a lot of solo zombies when Shadows came out. So all these maps are like really tough. This is my experience with playing with friends, my brothers, obviously just, you know, randoms as well. So the full zombie experience. Like, I feel like solo, it's, you know, you can just say, oh, I'm good, so these maps are amazing, you know, because I just know how to play them. Well, we're going to test that out, you know, throughout this challenge series. But Shinonuma, I think, like, between Noct, Like Noct, it was kind of just you find good guns and sit on the catwalk until you die. Shi no Numa, you actually, it's the same kind of concept, but you at least stood a chance, and Verukti just stood no chance. And that's partly why it just kind of sits down here, is because eventually, like, you're gonna die. Like, there's no, like, I know Noct, there's a good training strategy with, like, the flamethrower. You know, there is that strategy, as well as there was that one glitch that you could, like, jump on the, I think there was actually 2 glitches, and that I remember, like, right over the first staircase, and then right the one pillar that you could jump and crouch in to keep the zombies all in, like, one spot. But that, I mean, that was, you know, that was it for, like, the high round stuff with those. Shi no Numa, you could kind of do whatever you want with. Pretty versatile. Now, I know I mentioned we're probably going to rank Darius and the Giant in the same spot, but I am going to still just put them, or I'm going to put them 2 different, well, no, I'm not going to put them in 2 different spots, but I'm going to do the Giant later. Darius is, honestly, it's going right by Shi no Numa, and this is honestly more so because of the simplicity of the map. Is like, if you're good at it, you can get pretty far. There's so many different ways to go about it. It can get difficult. It can get, you know, it could be really easy for you between box luck, how you want to play the map. There's a lot of just changing approaches you can go with it. The dogs in Darius are definitely a lot harder to make it where it's like, I need to get a weapon as fast as possible. Otherwise, if dog rounds comes and you still have the car, you're probably done for, especially with the 2-hit system. So that's that. Yeah, Darius, I don't think a lot of the top ones are gonna change. My biggest takeaway is gonna be some of these other ones. And one of those are going to be Kino. Because Kino, I think, is the most overrated zombie map ever. I'm putting it right in C. I literally think this one's, you boot up with some people for a quick game of zombies. You don't want to try. There's really nothing that you want to do, essentially. And it's literally a noob map. Now, all that being said, there's plenty of space. There's, I mean, we're gonna, Black Ops 3 made it a whole different ball game with gobblegums and, you know, double pack and just the weapons in general. Black Ops 1, like, just had bad weapons, honestly, as far as ammo and all that stuff. So you now get good weapons to make the alleyway actually a decent spot. Obviously you have the what is it, the stage. Spawn becomes an option. I mean, you just have so many more options in Kino with Black Ops 3, and the challenges that we're going to be able to do on there is going to be really nice. But mostly Kino's just known for booting up with some friends, maybe play one game, but you're not really focusing too much on Kino. You're just kind of playing, and, you know, you can obviously try going for a high round, all that stuff. The issue is when you play with 4 people, one person took the stage, and the other 3 are pretty much staying together. If not, one person's trying to train by themselves, or tries running with the train, or you have one person on the stage, and then one person, like, just off the stage, if that makes sense. And then it always just messes up, because the one guy below gets into trouble and has to go back up to buy the stage, and it messes up the train up there, brings some zombies where they weren't supposed to, you know, and then the other guy goes down, and it becomes a whole mess. So playing solo, obviously, it's a great experience, but when you play with people that don't have communication, that's the big thing with randoms. Not everyone has a mic, and not everyone, like, when I play with randoms now, I choose not to put a mic on because people are just annoying. I really don't care about communication in a sense. Like, especially in Black Ops 3, like, you should kind of know what you're doing at this point, playing some of these maps, and they're not that complex. So like, what are we doing here? So I don't really feel the need to get a mic anymore. And when it comes to like Black Ops 3 and stuff like that. The next is going to be 5. 5 is a map where I think they flopped. I think the ammo issue, like, it was just bad. Like, 5 is definitely, like, as much as I played it, like, and I played it quite a bit. I wish there was, like, a time of how much I played 5, and there's a way to see that. But the amount of time I played at 5, I equally amount hated 5. And I thought by playing it more and more and more and more, eventually I was going to get like a good rhythm to it. And keep in mind, this is with randoms. This isn't me playing solo because, you know, I was, what was I, 7 when this game came out? 7, 6, or 8 maybe? So I was kind of terrified playing solo because, you know, I'm not the brightest, you know, brightest little diamond in the mine, you know. But 5 was just like, you were doomed from the start. The M14 obviously is a good weapon, but you know, so you're trying to hold out for some points before you buy the, I think it's the MPL that's on the wall at the first store. So you're like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna hold off with the M14, get some good points, buy the door elevator, go down because I'm gonna buy the MP5 or the MP5K. Great idea. By the time you use the MP5 to get some decent points, your MP5 is out of ammo. So now you have to choose if you want to buy ammo for the MP5 or buy the next door. Okay, maybe you played your cards perfect. You can do both. You can buy ammo and you can buy the door. Great. Well, there's another door below that one to get into the other elevator to go down the next floor. Okay, whatever. I bought ammo, so I was able to, you know, do the same thing. Get more ammo, and I'm going to buy the next door to go down the next floor. Now the power, right? So you turn it on, and hopefully you did this before the round flipped. Or, I'm sorry, after the round flipped, because you have a high chance of, after you turn on power, for the Pentagon Thief to be able to just spawn in right away. Like, there's no depth, like, time frame for this guy to actually come in. It's just whenever the power comes in, there's a chance for him to spawn in, and then he comes in like every like 5 rounds after that. We'll get to him in a sec. But so let's just say you turn on power, everything's fine, right? You still have an MP5K that, keep in mind, at the end of the round you're out of ammo with, and you have to make a choice of either you want to progress, or now you have to go back up the elevator to get ammo for it. More than likely you're going to try looking for the box. So you hit the box, you get a new gun. More than likely that gun is bad. Or 80% of those guns in Black Ops 1 are the same exact problem you're going to run with the MP5, meaning they're okay, but they're going to run out of ammo probably by the end of the next round. There's only like a handful of guns in this entire game, and most of them are the ARs, like the AUG. FAMAS is even honestly one of them, because that thing runs out of ammo. It's like the AUG, Commando, Galil. I mean, obviously you have your LMGs that are obviously good, and the Wonder Weapons. Oh yeah, Wonder Weapons. Let's get to that one. Yeah, 5 has a terrible Wonder Weapon. Yeah, and then you get it to the Pentagon Thief. So all this is going on, right? You finally get a decent weapon. You know what? You get 2 decent weapons, right? Now you don't have to really worry about ammo, right? So you know, you pack a punch. Cool, you got 2 pack punch weapons. Oh wait, you probably don't have 2 pack punch weapons, because Pentagon Thief definitely took one of them already. So you have 1 good pack punch weapon and probably another one that's just like there as a sidekick just for extra ammo, which is whatever. But don't worry, Pentagon Thief will be coming back here shortly, and he doesn't get easier by any means. Now obviously there's the Mustang and Sally kind of trick, the ray gun, but the death machine. But other than that, like, now don't get me wrong, he rewards you very well with the bonfire sale, stuff like that, but I just think it's too much. I think he's like, if he was like a Panzer or something like that, and like I don't even know, like if there was just a way for, like, if he didn't sprint, if he walked and you kind of outrun him, and then if he cornered you, he took your weapon. Okay, that's decent. But the fact that he can just, you start shooting him and he, books it at you, and then like I said, he doesn't get weaker when he does that. It almost feels like the opposite. Like he just starts taking bullets. He's dodging, weaving, climbing stairs. There's no escaping him. And eventually he just ends up taking your weapon. But like I don't know. I think just the whole map design with this one, I feel like the best possible chance that they could have given people is you go down the elevator and there's a room. The bottom floor, by the way, is just a death sentence too. Like I wish there was there's a little bit more salvation with it. Instead, it just gets creepier and creepier, and it's worse and worse and worse. Then when you go like further and further down, but I feel like the way they could have fixed this is power, and right across from it is the mystery box, or a good wall weapon that could like help you against the Pentagon Thief. Whether it's the glue, like something good, not an SMG, like not all this other crap, like, and something that's actually like maybe an RPK. Yeah, make it pricey, but at least hey, I can go down here, activate power, and not have to worry if the Pentagon Thief will spawn the next round because I'm gonna buy this gun, or I have the mystery box that I don't have to purchase another door to find, because at this point we've already opened 4 mystery box, or 4, right? 4. You do the one next to the elevator, the one to the next elevator, and then actually the elevator, purchasing the elevator. So yeah, you purchase 4 doors to get down to the basement, right? And then you have to find the mystery box and then purchase another door to even get to it. So you're opening 5 doors, buying 2 at minimum elevators as well, so maybe 5.5 doors, I would say, equivalent in point wise, to hit the mystery box finally, right? Keep in mind, in Doris, you open 3 doors to get to the mystery box. 3 to 5.5. I wonder why this map doesn't make sense. There you go. But, I mean, even if you change it down to 4, would that fix it? And the answer is honestly yes, because you can do that. And, by the way, how does the elevator work if the power's not on? I don't know. Now, what could have been another fix, potentially, is you start at the bottom of the Pentagon, and maybe you can't turn on power, but you can you can open those doors, you can find the mystery box, something along those lines. Or you work your way to the top of the Pentagon and the mystery box is there already. You can activate power from up there or something like that. Like I don't know, I feel like there could have been some other way to go about this, or put the mystery box on the middle floor. You buy, the 2 doors and the what is it? The elevator, and then you open up to kind of the next elevator part in the bottom of the war room area. And the mystery box is there. So you can get a weapon before you have to go down to the basement. That's honestly a better idea for it. But I mean, I think just the layout with it, they took a step back in what they should have done with it, and I think it deserves right there. Next is Ascension. Ascension is another one of those maps I despise playing, and there's honestly, like, out of every possible idea about this game, there's only one thing. Like, yeah, the Pentagon Thief, there's a way, like, it's annoying he takes your weapon, but hey, you can get another weapon back, right? Perks in Ascension are a pain in the butt to deal with. And like at this point when I play Ascension, I don't even buy perks. Like that's how annoying the Space Monkeys are. They make kind of not a lot of sense in this aspect of it. I feel like they're too random. I feel like if there was one ship that crashed down and like 10 monkeys came out of it, and if you knocked out all 10 monkeys, you know, you get your free perk and all that, then okay, that's like a decent idea. But the fact that there's 20 ships falling down on each perk, and now you have to go knock those out, and then this one's getting hit, so you gotta run all the way over there. The map's too big, and there's not enough traveling like systems in play for you to be even able to do that. So that's why this is down here, because I just think, again, for me personally, the average of these so far are not looking good for Black Ops 1. Luckily, they kind of redeemed themselves in a slight way, and honestly, there's only a few reasons why I enjoy Call of the Dead, and I feel like it's a good combination of, it reminds me a lot of Derice, and here's why. The Wonder Weapon is good, but you need to be cautious with it. Example, Wonder Waff. You can't just put yourself in the corner and keep zapping and be okay. Some zombies don't get zapped, they hit you, you're done, right? Similar to Scavenger. Now, obviously, VR11 is a whole nother story. I think that's more of an Easter egg Wonder Weapon, which I feel like they should do more of. Don't get me wrong. I think there should be more Wonder Weapon-based Easter egg things that aren't necessarily part of the map itself. And there are good reasons for the VR11, like usage-wise. But I think it's cool, like, to have something that's like this alien artifact or alien weaponry, and it's for an Easter egg, not really for gameplay. I think that's cool because it really makes people decide on, do I want to do the Easter egg and play this game totally different, or do I want to find a good weapon and actually like get to a high round and play it this route? It makes the player choose on that with that kind of weapon. And I feel like Call of the Dead just does it pretty well. I don't think it gets too overbearing. I think it's a huge map. I think there could have been a couple more shortcuts through it, or the ship maybe, instead of it being kind of like a U shape, honestly, like there's a whole section of it. There's a little bridge from the, what is that? The Jug? No, not even the Jug ship. It's the one before it, the first ship, or the first half of the ship, where you can go down to like the AK-74 training area. There's that point of it. But I feel like if that ship was turned more or something, like it, like, you know, they had to like turn it or whatever, so it kind of like fishtailed, so it hit and fishtailed back in or something like that, to where like there's a little bit more freedom in a sense. I understand the zip line, like that's neat, but you have to climb this entire light pole thing, or lighthouse, to get to the zip line. So if you're at the bottom of the zip line, or if you're not even near the zip line, someone goes down in the other spot, like on the back of the ship or something, forget it, because it's impossible to get there if you're anywhere else on the map. It's even hard to get there if you're near, like, if you're not near the zip line. Like if you're on the bottom of the lighthouse and you have to climb the entire lighthouse, zip line across, that's even pretty difficult to get to that down player. But I think this was a good one just for sticking together. Like this one's a big communication one. I do enjoy the Easter egg on it. I think there's a good variety of how you can play it. I played this thing in multiple ways. Going to power first. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna open the Jug first, and then once I get the MP40, open the Jug, I'm gonna backtrack, then turn on power. That way I can go run and grab Jug right away, instead of trying to buy all the way up to power first, because then you're just sitting there and you don't really have much. Or if the box spawns on the other side by like the lighthouse, not by power, which really sucks, that's kind of where the issue comes in. But I feel like they could have maybe added a few more zip lines, and just some different map design on it. Like, Sunny Goes, what's up? What's up, my man? How are you doing today? I feel like they could have just did a little bit better with the map design on it. Like, I don't see the point of why they had to block off the, like, where Quick Revive is, how you can't jump over that. Like, after you turn on power, or, like, if you shoot with a scavenger or something like that, it should have been able to, like, blow up and then, like, kind of cross there at, like, freedom-wise. Or, what could have been cool is the lighthouse is frozen, right? So you turn on power, and it, like, kicks on something, and, like, a sheet of ice falls and breaks it. So it still relies on power to turn it on. But I feel like that would be a nice bridge to the rest of the map. But I don't know. That's just me. There could have been a little bit better movement stuff in Call of the Dead. I still like the gameplay of it, though. Next. Oh, sorry, I blocked off this. Next is Shangri-La. Now, this is another one. Keep in mind, I did not play this thing solo until, like, kind of more recent years of playing zombies. I've been playing a lot more solo. But when you play with friends, this is another one they didn't think too clearly on. This is another Black Ops 1 zombie map that's going in F tier. And there's a lot of good things with Shangri-La. The wonder weapon, the scenery. The Easter egg is really fun if you have the communications for it. Other than that, this thing's very difficult. This is almost like if Varuk just had an Easter egg to it, and that's about it. On top of that, you have to need a 4-player Easter egg to do it as well, or 4 players to do the Easter egg. It is a difficult Easter egg. The only reason why I like Shangri-La is if I could do the Easter egg. That's honestly the only reason why I would ever play Shangri-La, other than this whole challenge series we're going to be doing. Shangri-La is just not, it's not it. And there's a reason why when all these maps came out, Shangri-La was the hardest to even get be able to join on. When Black Ops 1 came out with the remasters of the original 4, Nacht, Verrückt, Shinonuma, and Darius on Black Ops 1, there's a reason why people played Verrückt more than they did Shangri-La when that dropped. Is because Verrückt was technically easier than Shangri-La. And Shangri-La was just pain. And and like I said, Easter egg wise, 10 out of 10. Like, that's an Easter egg. But to pack a punch and you need all 4 people to stand on a tile at the same, like, they should have made it to where a single person could do it, but like it had to be in a specific order. So like the person that had to do it would be like, man, this kind of sucks because I gotta go from here to over here to here to here for this thing to open. But at least you can open it. If you play with even 2 people and the one person doesn't have a mic, doesn't even care, he has you muted, and you're trying to pack a punch, I don't even know how long this game's been out. Once. With me, I didn't have a mic. This guy didn't have a mic. And we both looked at each other. And I stood on the plate and looked at him. And he knew the assignment. He booked it to the other one. And I knew the other one was in spawn. So I took the one that was like to the right of spawn, like down the bridge path. Just before like the waterfall area and the water spot. I was staying on that one. He ran back to spawn. And he activated it. I was like, there is no way. There is no way that this guy understood to pack punch. After all these years of trying to get randoms to understand how to pack punch on this thing, I found one person after all these years to do this. And in Shangri-La, you need the pack punch. Because otherwise it just becomes Verrückt, and even harder than Verrückt, because you just got too much stuff. You got special zombies, you got monkeys hitting you for no reason. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I don't think they thought this one too well through. There's certain mechanics, man. certain mechanics they weren't comprehending. They bunted with Kino, just a really safe play, you know, like, oh, bunt, we're just gonna get to first. Bravo, like good job. Like, you know, you played it safe. You, in a way, you kind of hit a home run on playing it safe, honestly, for being the first Black Ops 1 map. But 5, no. Ascension, no. Call of the Dead, okay, like, nice. Like, let's keep that rolling. Like, forget what we did in 5 and Ascension, like. And then, like, obviously Call of the Dead, you got fog, and, you know, there's some issues with Call of the Dead, like I mentioned. But Shangri-La, Strike 3, they're out. Okay, that's the issue there. And then they follow up with Moon, and Moon has some cool things. The Easter egg again. They go Shangri-La and then Moon, like, back to back, great Easter eggs. But there's one reason why I don't like playing Moon. And I mention this every time I play Moon, because on round 6, if you have power on round 6, this event happens. And every time these things turn on, I remember why I dislike Moon. Because when I play Moon, I'm like, why did I always not like this map? Turn on power, like, I'm rolling, I'm like, cool. We're moving here. Like, I generally don't know why I'm, like, don't like this map. Excavators come into play. Now, other than the biodome, it just makes it to where you need a mask, or the suit, or whatever, which is fine. But the 2 other spots it happens at, Tunnel 6 and then Tunnel 11, I think it's called, you can't go there. So it requires you to find this hacker that has like 13 locations, bring that back, and by the way, most of the time what happens is the excavator goes to the side that you didn't even purchase. Oh, I'm sorry, like, flip that. So it goes to the spot that you purchased, and you have to go the route you didn't purchase. So in other words, you gotta buy like 4 other doors just to kind of make your way back to spawn. And then you gotta hack this thing just for it to go up, and it doesn't stay gone. No. If it stayed gone, I think I would think of it differently. I think I truly would. If it excavated and you hacked it, and it would never for the rest of the game do this, then great. Or better yet, do Pokemon game rankings? We could do that. If you want me to do some more rankings, we definitely can. Issue with Pokemon games, haven't played a lot. I played up to Gen 3. Played a little bit of, my brother had Pearl. Played it for, I think I maybe got to the first gym. And that was it. I did not get into Pearl a lot. I was big on just the first 3 generations, and not even that. Gen 1 and Gen 3 are like my favorite generations. That's it. So, you know, you're talking red, blue, yellow, which that even those I didn't play a lot of. It was more leaf green, fire red, emerald, ruby, and sapphire. If anything, I would rank Pokemon in general. Maybe not Pokemon games, but maybe Pokemon themselves. But I definitely could do that, actually. So Moon. This is another one. I just don't think they thought through of their audience. Again, the Easter egg's great. The mobility of the map. What they kind of did is they took the average. They took everything average wise. The gameplay itself, like if you took out the excavators, you took out the teleporting to Area 51 and stuff like that just to go back to Pack-a-Punch. You took out like some of these extra features in a sense. You have Kino, like a pretty self-explanatory map that's decent. But now you put Call of the Dead, the bad parts of Call of the Dead I should add, in terrible rotation on the map. portions of it, and then you just have bad gameplay mechanics, like in 5 and Ascension, where you have the random astronaut dude, you have the teleporter frog guys, or like or not denizens. That's next map. The crawler guys. I don't even know Nova crawlers, but they're the Nova teleporter things. What else we got? You got the excavators, obviously. The hacker, I know there's some cool tricks with it, but again, like, the excavators kind of ruin it, because now it's like half this map is like you can't breathe, so you need this mask, but it's gonna punish you from holding this thing, because for some reason this little hacker pad thing that's based off the guy's animation is no bigger than my cell phone, right? I can't carry that in a mask. I don't know. Maybe the gloves you can't tight. I don't know. Like, just cut the gloves then. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why you couldn't just carry both. I don't know. Like, I understand why, because they were like, oh, you gotta choose because, you know, zombies. But we get into the next map, which... Oh, never mind. We don't get this transit yet. We get into Bus Depot, which is literally just a worse... a worse knocked. That's it. Diner, I'm actually just going to put in NA, just because I don't even think it's a map. I think it's just the, what is it? The, what's that thing called? The Infected game mode, which I've never played. Town. Now this guy. Town and the equivalents of it. The grief mode and I think it was just survival, right? I think those were the two different kinds. This is good. This is what zombies should be. Like, other than, like, okay, so you come out with, I'm going to just go back to World at War wise. You come out with Nacht, Verrucht, Shino Numundaries, right? Those are your storyline maps. Boom, town. And you can make it into a storyline. Hey, by the way, this is when they were traveling. They had to travel from here to here. This, you know, they stopped in here because of, I don't know. They saw some activity going down, and they decided to stop here. This is how you make a cool alternate zombies map, and I feel like they should have done more of this. Like, if they would have made something called, like, I don't know, like survival on the catwalk or whatever, and there's a mystery box behind you, and the teleporter, instead of the teleporter, it's literally Pack-a-Punch, and it's just like a barrier, or like, you know, you have like 3, maybe 4 windows or something like that, and it's literally just a survival map where the catwalk is in Darice. That'd be pretty cool. Like I don't think it would be like crazy cool, but it'd be kind of a cool thing to kind of have an alternative gameplay in a sense. Town, you have a good training spot. Actually a few training spots, honestly. You have some camping spots in there. Obviously you have Pack-a-Punch, you have Mystery Box, you have all the perks that you need. Like this, like it's a cool like little thing. I don't know if maybe A is too high. I'm gonna put it at B, just because I think for a small kind of style map, they did pretty darn good on that one. I think that is what you like. That's how you should do a small map, in a sense. Next is farm. This is how you don't do. Oh, what did I do? Hold on. I done found the coding. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. Farm. This is how you don't make a map. Yeah, this is worse. This is kind of similar as Bus Depot, honestly. Only you have perks, and it doesn't help much, honestly. Like this is. I don't know how you go from town and being like, hey, we got Pack-a-Punch, we got perks. This is going pretty well. to Bus Depot, you're like, wow, this people aren't gonna play this. And in Farm, people can't play this because like, how are you like it's just there's too much kind of going on like with zombie spawns and all that to even enjoy yourself with how you're even gonna survive on these maps. And they're not fun either, so it's not like I mean, and the worst thing is these spots translate to the same kind of aspect as what transit provides with them. They don't gain anything in transit, so these places, like if they were actually a notable spot and cool or whatever, transit would be better. Do you play Valorant? I do not. Do not play Valorant. I feel like I've heard of that though, but I haven't played it. Transit. This is another poorly executed one. In all honesty, like I don't like am I being harsh? I don't know. Will my opinion change in a lot of these? Maybe. I don't know. Transit's one of those maps where it goes well. And it does go well. Like, yes, the bus keeps you going. Like, hey, chop, you got power on, great. Get in the bus or we're leaving you. Okay, like, calm down there, Ted. I'm coming. Like, things, you know, it keeps you going. It really does. But there's two things about this map that ruin it. And two of them are very important things. The one is how you get around the map because you're punished for it. Not necessarily by lava or fog. Yes, the fog's annoying, but you can kind of manage it. But the denizens ruin your chances of doing anything or enjoying the map because they're not like, oh, every now and again they come out or something like that. No, once you knife out one, you hear another one running, flying. Like, I don't even know what they do. They go, and then they jump, and then just like, and then they latch on you. I don't get it. Like, are they flying squirrels? I don't know. But like, they're annoying. They're annoying little gremlins. They don't need to be in the map. And someone's checked that off. I don't think they're like buildable. Like, okay, what do we want in this? We want buildables, check. You got power station, check. Pack-a-punch, check. Denizens, check. Like, that sounds like a cool zombie. Zapping zombie for a boss that I guess can like die in like 2 hits with like the Galvan Knuckles. Check. Like, I don't like, but I think he just saw the bullet points and like didn't question anything. He just like, Avogadro. That sounds like a cool name for a boss. Check. Oh, a table for a amazing like Easter egg, like a multiple game Easter egg. Check. He didn't read the fine print and all this stuff. The denizens suck. The was it Pack-a-Punch? It's even worse. Because good luck with that one, buddy. I think I Pack-a-Punch once playing Transit. And that was a long time ago. Because I didn't understand how to even do it, like, growing up and stuff like that. And then, like, I always thought, like, somebody else would kind of do this and it would be open. But it's not even open forever either. That's the other worst part about this. Is, I think Pack-a-Punch not being accessible and denizens are the reason why these maps are bad. Because, and I'm tempted to put this down even further, but just the time I spent playing this map, if you play with a group of friends, it's fun. It really is. Maybe only once or twice, which, oh wait, what else is right next to Noct? Or Transit? Oh, it's Noct. Another one that is fun with a group of friends for 1 or 2 goes. That makes sense. We move on. Die Rise, never played it. From what I've heard about, though, I am going to put it in NA. Only reason being is, 1, I haven't played it, and 2, we're not going to play it unless I find something based off of on Steam, on the workshop or something to where I can play it. which I know they're trying to like do like a remaster thing. Mr. T looks fine. Like a couple of people were like going in on it, but I'm not sure if that's completed yet. So we might come back to that potentially. Nuketown, something I did play. This is another way I think to do something that's like it's very basic, but it does its job. Like it's a little bit more difficult of a town. Essentially, Nuketown is town randomizer. Essentially, and closer quarter space. So it just becomes more difficult, honestly. And I appreciate it. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with Nuketown. I think it has some cool like challenge stuff with it, all that stuff. But that's where that's going. Mob of the Dead. This one again, I've only played a couple times, and I know a lot of people are gonna be, what do you mean, all this kind of stuff with it. I'm still learning the map, honestly. I'm putting this one right at C for right now. Again, after this challenge, I should kind of know what the map is going to be like. And playing, like, I'm gonna obviously watch some videos on it too, kind of knowledge myself up of just kind of how to play this map in a sense. But right now I'm kind of clueless. It seems like a cool map, but there's a lot of close quarter combat with it, which I think in a 2-hit system is pretty tough to just kind of jump in and play on. I feel like it's kind of a similar style as Shangri-La in a sense of like the gameplay wise, where you don't have a lot of space to maneuver. Or I shouldn't really say Shangri-La, maybe more so like Verrucht. I don't know. I think it's a combination of Shangri-La, Verrucht difficulty wise, but then 5 for some a little bit more open space, but you're still confined, if that makes sense. Do you think COD Black Ops 3 Remaster would come? Not for a long time. I think what you probably would have a better chance on just getting a zombie standalone game with every zombie map than a Black Ops 3 Remastered. Now, a Black Ops 2 Remastered, I think it would be cool, but like Call of Duty just sucks at making games at this point, and I don't think they understand what we want and everything, and where like everything's at. So at this point, I don't know what zombies and everything's going. I actually watched a video with Mr. Raffle Waffles kind of talking about. There was like an interview with like the head zombie developer for Modern Warfare 3, and how he was asking or answering questions about like why Zakhaev is alive, and like the moral of the thing, he was just kind of saying like, well, who really cares in a sense? Like, if you're a hardcore zombies fan, you'll figure out the answers or make your own predictions, and that's what keeps you excited about looking for the story of the zombie map. Or if you're new to the zombie storyline and stuff, you don't really care because you're going to be jumping into these games for the gameplay portion of it, not the storyline yet. So for like the developers and stuff to automatically like give answers out, nobody asked them to do that, and it takes away from a whole community side of it, or it gives information out that new players don't really care about. And he literally, like, I watched this at 3 a.m. Today, like literally just about that interview, that there was the interviewee or interviewer person talking to the head developer, and he just went on a long tangent of why this guy's returning, how he survived, and it's just like, again, no one asked. Like, the interviewer even was just like, oh, like, she was hinting at stuff, but instead of him just saying, well, bad guys always come back, it's a Call of Duty thing, like, you can never be too sure, like, about stuff. Like, he didn't give cryptic answers, and that's kind of where Call of Duty is in general. They just throw everything at you, and everything just sticks. It used to be like, hey, I'm gonna throw all this at you, but this other stuff's gonna kind of fall through the cracks a little bit, and you're not even gonna know this. You think you caught everything, but I have a couple more things in my pocket that I didn't throw at you, and some of that stuff I threw at you, I threw some like over your head, and like some over here, some over there, to where you don't know really what's going on. You think you do. You think you got a bunch of information that's helpful, but there's so many other things that you don't know yet that you might really want to know, and you won't know until the further down the line. And that's the issue with Call of Duty right now. I know your question was Black Ops 3, if that could be remastered, but that's the only issue with a lot of these things, that like the remaster portion of it, is the multiplayer is not going to be the same. Like, everything's just not going to be the same, and it sucks that way, because Call of Duty, like, as someone growing up with literally Call of Duty being the primary game playing in like my entire family, honestly, like in terms of like growing up between like World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2 we kind of got out of Call of Duty as a whole, honestly, but like those first style of games, it was like on Christmas we got 4 copies between my dad, myself, and my other 2 brothers. We got 4 copies of Call of Duty, and we play it all winter break, essentially. Or Black Ops titles, I would get on my birthday, because they would come out like the day before my birthday or whatever, so I would get them early, and then like they would get them, you know, on Christmas or whatever. But like they were like staples of the yearly cycle of like, this game's coming out, awesome. But now it's like, it's coming out and it's just gonna be trash, and you already know it's gonna be trash, and then you play it, and then you try hyping it up a little bit, like, oh, I think I'll enjoy this one. You don't, and it just snowballs down to just terribleness. Buried, another map I have not played, but we are going to play. This one's gonna be mostly about how this challenge does, and if I can find it on Steam. This one's also going in NA for right now, because I don't, if like, and I'm gonna be completely honest with everyone here, is if we get down to Black Ops 2 and like the series just isn't kicking off, I'm gonna be having fun with the series. I already know I'm going to have fun with it. But if we get down to Buried, or even Die Rise, if we get down to one of these titles, and like, just being honest, if like no one's really like engaging with anything or whatever, like I'm not gonna spend the money to re-get these maps. But if I find them on Steam, as like a remaster or even like a slight alteration of it, I'll play it, but it might not be the full experience in a sense. Especially in Black Ops 2. Buried is a little bit more, I'm kind of debating if I want to purchase it or not. But for right now, we're just going to put it right here. But yeah, Origins. A lot of people are going to fight me on this one. And there's actually something I want to do here. I'm going to put Origins here. I'm going to put Shinonuma up. Now, this is just one of my favorite maps of all time. So like, it's gonna be hard to not like keep me in there, and it's not like a Black or World at War nostalgia kind of thing. It's literally every time, like, I enjoy the scenery of Shinonuma, I enjoy the gameplay of it. It's a nice smooth ride through everything. The reason I'm keeping the same, Origins is a map where I do have an issue with, and it's 4 players against a Panzer. I don't enjoy that. I do not enjoy that. There's so much ammo dumping into that guy that it's insane. It's insane how much ammo a 4-player zombies game a Panzer can take. Unless you have like a Mark II or a staff, things like that. But if all you have is like MP40s, every single player on your team can just completely go through a full thing of ammo. You could get a max ammo, Panzer spawns in, dump all that ammo into him, and he still won't be done. I went through 2 full, like, because that happened. I literally had an RPK. I remember this because this was like a couple months ago that this happened. A full thing of, or maybe slightly less than full ammo of an RPK. Dumped every single shot. You know, a couple obviously would miss just because I'm terrible, but most of them hit the Panzer, right? Not done. I'm like, okay, this is insane for mostly a full RPK not being able to take out a Panzer. Whatever. We get a max ammo. I think I had like a KN or something like that. I had some other weapon. Keep in mind, I'm talking about Black Ops 3 zombies. I think I had the KN because that's normally what I buy when I train the Panzer around Jug and stuff like that. So I mag dumped a little bit of the KN ammo in there. Still nothing, by the way. We get a max ammo, so I pull out my RPK back. All the ammo. It took all the ammo. I literally was lost with. I brought the Panzer to somebody else. That's where I was at with the Panzer. I had no hope left with it. Luckily, someone had a Mark II and literally just like one shot of the Panzer after all that. But I had almost 2 full RPK ammo worth dumped into a Panzer, and then like a couple mags of a KN 44 into him, and he did not die. That's insane. That's my biggest issue with Origins. Now, Origins isn't a casual map either. So, and to be honest, I think that's the only way I play Origins. I don't play it for, hey, I'm going for just a casual game. Not really. Like, I'm going in there and I'm like, I have objectives I gotta do. I kind of lie, I guess. I do sometimes go in there just for a casual game, but it never turns out that way. Because by the time you get perks and stuff, you're like, I need staffs to do stuff. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to still turn on generators. There's always stuff you still have to do. So it's one of those maps for me that I just can't. I can't put all the way to the top because if I'm not feeling like turning on 7 generators, opening up all this crap just to try pack-a-punching, and then on top of that, if I want to be like good, I gotta get these staff, all this other staff stuff, and remember how to do all that. It's a lot of work for a map. I appreciate it, but it's not going in S tier because you can't just play it anywhere. The next map, Shadows. Come on up to S tier, my brother. Shadows is probably one of my favorite maps, and I think other than some mobility issues on it, like if someone dies by the docks and then you're all the way in canals, ooh, that's a tough walk to get to them. But I mean, that's kind of the same thing with any map, honestly. Origins, I feel like, does a terrible job with mobility, which again, I don't know how they could miss mobility an issue, because that's been an issue since everything. Like, every single map has mobility issues. Shinonuma is not good with it. Shadows is terrible with it. Origins is really bad with it. Darius isn't terrible, I guess, but you still would have to pay 1,500 points to teleport to the middle of the map. So, like, I mean, still pretty bad. Call of Duty, that's really bad. Kino's not terrible, but if you're in the alley and you're all the way in the stage, like, it's, or, sorry, if you're in the alley and you're all the way over by, like, the MP40 room, that's kind of a tough jog down over that way. But I don't think it's a terrible movement thing. Mob of the Dead, I'm still learning that map, honestly, so I'm not 100% sure. Moon's really bad. Rucked, not really. I mean, it's a huge circle, but, you know, it is what it is. But in a way, that's kind of bad though if it's like Baruch wise, because if your partner goes down in the horde of zombies, you gotta go all the way around the map just to get back to that point to revive them, which is a good thing kind of because you take all the zombies with you and then you make your way around. You can revive them when all the zombies are behind you. But whatever. 5, someone's on first floor, you're on the bottom floor. Good luck. I know there's a teleporter thing, but those things are kind of whack themselves. And yeah, Shangri-La is kind of the same thing wise. Shangri-La is not terrible because they have those little couple things that you can do. But what other zombie games do I play? Nothing. I do have a game on my computer. It's called Infestation. Or did they change it now? They had a lot of lawsuits when they first came out. Infestation, the New Z, it's called. It's a very... What just happened? There we go. Sorry about that. It's a very basic kind of zombie game, survival game. Nothing crazy about it, but something I played kind of, not growing up, but with my brother a lot. So I still have it. I haven't played it in a while. It's kind of become more of a PvP kind of setting now because it's like easy to find weapons and stuff. It used to not be that way. It used to be like you spawn in somewhere, you had to like train zombies, kind of kill them off, just for the hope that this one's like a couple spawn spots. It would be like random items essentially, with like, you know, different kinds of ammo, different, you know, armor. Yeah, obviously you needed food and water, different weapons, both melee weapons and, you know, guns too. So it's a fun game. I haven't played it in a while, but I know it changed a lot too. Giant, we are putting right by Doris, as I mentioned. The Horizon Drac. This is Origins, but better. And the reason why I say that is because you do not need the staffs or the bows, or I guess bows in Horizon Drac's case, to be good. You have double pack-a-punch. You have good training areas. You can kind of enjoy your life a little bit on this map as a casual gamer and not have to worry about doing all this extra stuff if you don't feel like it. And that's why it gets better than that. I would put it equal to it because in a sense it's kind of a little bit easier, but again, I can play Horizon quite a bit of times in so many different ways as well. Shino Numa. Where do I start with Shino? Shino Numa does one thing very bad, and it's something very important to any casual gamer that can make them hate this map so quickly. And I think I have to put it at D tier. And this one component of this map that I'm talking about is very simple because all the way from, I mean, obviously like Bus Depot Town, like besides those like little maps, from Verrucht all the way up to this point, in some way or form or another, you would need to do one thing to continue your zombie killing spree, and that's turning on power. Zetsubo took the power idea and they essentially did the whole double it and give it to the next person challenge with it, because you gotta do it. I mean, they did it a couple times, honestly, because you had to not only turn on power to the left side, but also the right side, just to open the middle bunker to turn on power again. It wasn't like you turned on one side and that was all good to go. You turn on the next side, that's all to go, and you can just run down, open the bunker, turn on the main power, and all good to go. No. You have to do all this stuff just to turn on power, making this, without gobblegums, making this a very tough setup game. You know why a lot of people stop playing zombies? or stop like trying to get better with the game is because you play it once, and if you get close, like if you die turning on power, or die right after turning on power, or like, hey, I did this, I got power, I'm gonna start doing this too, because there's a lot to do in Zetsubo, don't get me wrong, especially after you turn on power. But if you go down and you die out, right? Your will to do all that power crap all over again is gone. You know why? Because why waste all that time again? You're talking half an hour probably. Like, as a casual player, no mega gobblegums, going through, going round after round, hitting the box a couple times because you can treat yourself a little bit in this life, right? Turning on the two sides of the power, then opening the bunker. Hopefully you didn't wait too long, because the one side might go out before you get to the other side. Or there's been times where I got both sides on. By the time I made it back to the bunker, the other one turned off, and so I had to do that one again. Luckily I got it back when both of them were on. But it's a thing where it's just annoying. And there have been times where I was like, hey, I want to get to this point in this game, and you turn on power and then you start doing your challenge in a sense, and then you go down and die, and it's like, I don't feel like going another 20 minutes, half an hour to do all this stuff again, and I'm not even set up yet. I may have bought one perk just because I had plenty of cash, or a little bit more than enough cash going into the bunker, that I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to turn on power, I'm going to get Jug because it's over here. Or I'm sorry, not Jug, because that's always in the bunker in solo. I'm going to get double tap because I'm a big double tap person. So, like, hey, that's normally my go-to, is if I have power, I have enough points, especially on a 4-player game, like, give me double tap and at least I have my chance to go a little further, right? But Zetsubo, I don't think they did it right. I like the concept of it. I like the scenery, things like that. Power is just terrible, man. You have too many doors for it to be like that, I think. I think if there was an alternative way, or you expanded it more, or shrunk it down, just something to make it a little bit more manageable. But that's the biggest downfall in Zetsubo, and it's a hard one. Gorod Krovi. This one, C. And the biggest issue with it, in my opinion, is I feel like it flows pretty well. Don't get me wrong, I feel like it forces you to get the golf modules, it forces you to open up the map, forces you to kind of put these things into this generator, fly the dragon to pack lunch. That's cool. It's a nice little flow to this system. I like it. But after that, it's boring. Unless you're doing the Easter egg. And the reason why I say it's boring is because the map feels like an Easter egg map. Black Ops 3 maps are designed for, we're here to do a task. We're here for the task. That's the only reason why Zetsubo's tolerable, is when you're just doing the Easter egg. But if you fail doing the Easter egg, you're not going back to it right away because of the setup process. So I'm talking more as a casual gamer right now, where if you're going to Gorod Krovi saying, hey, let's play Gorod, awesome. Do you want to do the Easter egg? No, I'll play a game. And you know what else is right next to that? Kino. A casual map where it doesn't take too much. The little zappy things I feel like are out of place. I think it'd be cool if there was baby dragons instead. Baby dragons that shot fire or little fireballs at you. That would make more sense because there was dragon eggs leaked in Zetsubo no Shima, and it would make sense that the dragon would be kind of defending its babies that you just killed or whatever. I don't know. But I feel like the zappy things just make no sense. to it, or like that whole scenery. I don't know, but if you're going in there for the Easter egg, there's one issue I have with the Easter egg, because overall I like the Easter egg. I like the challenges there. And I think it's, you have two repetitive ones with the Mangler and then the little Nemo guy, there's a Valkyrie, but then you have the bomb step. And I think this was the one that makes me really just not enjoy this one. And it's mostly just the fact that you lose. You lose if you do it wrong. And I mean, you can always just say it's a skill issue. You're right, it's a skill issue. I'll take the blame on it, but I feel like it should be a little easier compared to the other challenges. Like, the other challenges go pretty smoothly, honestly. Like, they're difficult, but you can get through them kind of decently. And like, there's still some decent stuff you have to do before you get to the challenge stuff too. Is like, compared to the other maps, Gorod goes crazy in what you have to do for this Easter egg. Like, the Horizon Drag, to be completely honest, you build a bow, or I'm sorry, you build the bow, or you unlock the bow, you upgrade the bow, you find wisps around the map, which I enjoyed. I really enjoyed them. I wish there was like one or two spots that didn't exist during that wisp route, but either way, the wisps are a thing. I wish there was a smoother route you could take to make sure you got all of them, but whatever. The wisp routes are cool, but they make you do it twice. And then you do Samantha Says twice. And then you do, you kill the zombies in a circle, essentially. Is, like, it's not terrible. Like, don't get me wrong, I've died on, I think, other than Samantha Says. Like, I've obviously died before getting to that point. And then, I've died on, like, the circle part of it, for sure. But, like, they're not terrible. Like, they're hard, but they don't, like, you can abandon those things to make sure you're good. The thing with Gorod Krovi is, you don't know when that bomb step is, and when it is, like, when it hits, it's like, oh, by the way, it's this, and this. Go. Hope you got all that. Because, like, there's no other way to figure this out, right? Like, it's not like, I don't know. Like, I wish, like, in solo, it would only, like, do, like, maybe 4 or 3. And then, like, every player you get, it goes up to the next one, and then, like, another one, and another one, and another one. Like, something along those lines to where, I don't know. I really wish it was just a little, like, not saying I want it to be easier, but I want it to be a little easier on us, essentially. And it's just not. Like, compared to the other challenges, that one's the toughest thing I think there is on that one. Or just make the other challenges more difficult to where that one doesn't seem as bad. But that one definitely is the worst challenge in that entire thing. Next is Revelations. Revelations is just stupid. I was very disappointed in Revelations. And you know what they messed up again? Because, again, they just seem like they don't know how to make a zombie map in a sense of mobility-wise. I'm putting this in D as well. Is mobility. Is the plus side is there's Knocked, right? Knocked, you can go in, go to the next spot, and that's all fine and dandy. The thing is, I want to put you in this perspective, right? You spawn in, or someone's at spawn, and someone's training in the stage of Kino, right? All the way in the back of the stage. He died, a zombie came in and got him. Cornered him. You would have to go from spawn into Knocked, into the Horizon Drac, go through, like, the pyramid section of it. Then you'd have to go down the grates of, like, the stage, the, I guess, audience part of the stage in Kino, then go onto the stage to revive him. And that's if he goes down and you're like, I'm going right now. Like, I'm already mid-run. That's not saying you're training over there in spawn. You're not doing anything else, right? Like, there's a lot of other factors that go on with that. Or you go the jumping route thing, which is even worse. If you're next, like, if you're the platform next to him, it's the better route to go to him. But it's definitely tough there. And I just think they flopped on Revelations. I feel like they rushed it, which I think they truly did. I don't think they wanted to do like the next series or work on Black Ops 4, so they had to cut out some things on it. I really wish they didn't, because Revelations, I think it just flopped. I feel like it could have been so much better than what it was. People already speculated that it was gonna be back with everything, and as a casual game, it's not bad. It really isn't. It's not bad casually wise. The Easter egg just seems like kind of dumb in a way. Like, you revive Samantha or like Bones and stuff to get Sophia. I don't know, and I don't know. It's just kind of it seems like it's not. It's out of place in a sense. Like, I feel like it feels rushed, if that makes sense. But that's where we were at. We have, and now we're just gonna go through really quick, because how long have we been streaming right now? Been streaming for about an hour and a half right now, which isn't bad. Really quick, we're just gonna adjust the actual rankings on these as well. I'm gonna put Shadows as top tier. I am gonna put Derizen, then Shinonuma, and in the next spot, I am gonna put Origins above Derice, just because I think I'd rather, like, if I had to choose either Derice or Origins for the rest of my life, I'd probably pick Origins and just get better at it, or at least have objectives to kind of do. Derice or the Giant, you don't really have much. And obviously, if I got any of these other ones on top, I think Shinonuma and Origins would be a decent one to kind of go back and forth with, because one is just a nice casual zombie experience wise, and the other one's an actual objective. Two completely different opposite poles with it. I'm not 100% sure what I would pick on that one, but if it Derizen or Shadows came upon Origins, I'd pick one of those ones over them. After Giant, we have Call of the Dead Town. I like that placement of it because of the Easter eggs, things like that as well. Kino, Nuketown, Mob of the Dead, Gorod, Kurovi. Like I said, I haven't played Mob of the Dead for too long yet. So I am going to put Gorod at the top of it. Kino, I'm going to knock down pretty far. Because I'd rather go for a challenge on Nuketown and then learn Mob of the Dead than play Kino. Completely honest. That's why we played Kino when we described all our challenges we're going to do. Bless me. That's why we played Kino when we were describing every challenge we're going to be playing through and all that, is because it's literally a carefree map that you don't need to focus on. And it's just something I'm not really care about, in a sense. Next, we have Noct, Barak, Moon, Transit, Zetsubo, and Revelations. Again, I'd probably play Zetsubo over it, as well as Revelations for the Easter egg purposes of it. Moon is tolerable if you're doing Easter egg stuff. I probably would play Transit with friends more than Noct and Barak. Next, again, this would only really be based off of playing with people. It'd be the Easter egg on there, probably 5, then Ascension, Farm, then Bus Depot, and then obviously we have these ones here. So yeah, so essentially the best map is Shadows of Evil. The worst map is Bus Depot. What I'm hoping to get out of all this, guys, is essentially, am I being too harsh? And after all these challenges, what do I prove that these maps can truly provide for us? Are they, hey, I can do all these challenges, but they're really not fun with these maps? Like, if I do a room revolver challenge in Noct, is it going to be fun? Or is it just going to be like, well, that room is just pointless? You know, or same with Verrucht. You know, it's certain things like that around these maps that, you know, I'm going to be exploring the maps more. I'm going to be learning, you know, hey, maybe this is the better way to survive in this specific area. Or, hey, I realize that I can hold down, you know, maybe in Shangri-La and Verrucht, I can hold down these areas a little bit better than I initially thought. And it's not as bad as I was thinking. You know, and get them up a little bit more. Now, I definitely think I'm pretty harsh, but at the same time, I don't play a lot of, like, I don't play these maps a lot. And I think this is a very honest opinion about how I view these maps, is when I boot up zombies, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to play some zombies. If I play World at War, I'm playing Shinonuma. Like, plain and simple. Unless I'm doing, like, a physically, like, returning to Nocturne and Toten in 2024, how does it stack? Like, unless I'm doing something specific. But if I boot up World at War right now, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to play some zombies, I'm playing Shinonuma. Like, plain and simple. If I boot up, you know, Black Ops 2, or I'm sorry, Black Ops 1, even, more than likely playing Call of the Dead, honestly. Like, there's just, you know, unless I have, you know, friends or whatever that, hey, we're going to play Shangri-La or something along those lines, like, I'm not playing anything else, so I'll probably be playing Call of the Dead. Black Ops 2, forget everything else. They got Town. Right? And Town or Nuketown, honestly, like, if I just want more, if I want a harder Town experience, I play Nuketown. And then if I want to just, obviously with Mob of the Dead, I'm learning it still, so it's kind of in that toss-up area, which I think is a good spot, because Nuketown's kind of in that toss-up area in the community of what it's worth and all that. But then you get down to Black Ops 3, and that's where I think they hit it. And that's the other thing with it is, you know, you got Shadows and Horizon, but you also have a Garage, Zetsubo, and Revelations. And in all honesty, even though they're in the same game and it's great, it's a great lineup, because, you know, you have two maps in the D, and then one in the C, and then 2 S tier maps, right? According to me, wise, that's better than a lot of people's lineups. You look at World at War. World at War, you have, I mean, for me, honestly, an S and an A tier, and then Noct and Verrucht all the way down there. Meaning you're probably just going to be playing 2 of the maps, right? And you're really not even going to be looking at the other ones, because D and F tier are essentially like, they're on the disc, but I'm probably not going to play them, if that makes sense. Or more than likely, I'm not playing them. C tier is normally just a spot where, hey, I'll play one match and probably be done with it. And then B up is, hey, I'll play a couple maps of these, you know. And I think that's honestly truth of, like, what these are. Where was I? Oh, Black Ops 1 is the one that's very interesting, because I have them as 1 B tier, 1 C tier, and then 1 D tier, 3 F tiers. Black Ops 1 was probably, like, as much as I played it, don't get me wrong, as much as I played it, it was not it. I did not enjoy Black Ops 1 Zombies and what they tried to do on this. Easter egg wise, yes. I love the Easter eggs on them. Gameplay, mechanics, stuff like that. Gotta do better. Gotta do better. Or make a difficulty slider, which I think could benefit the community greatly, honestly, if they went that route with zombies. But that's my own opinion about that. Black Ops 2 Zombies. I got Origins at A. Town at B. C is Mob of the Dead. And then they got... Oh, and then the other two I'm not even on there. And then they had Transit and D. So, I mean, I guess Black Ops 2 is not terrible either with A, B, and C. But then you have Black Ops 3 that has 2 A tiers, you know, a C tier, and then two D tiers. Which, again, isn't terrible if you kind of consider a lot of this stuff, too. So, I mean, overall not terrible, I guess. I mean... But, Black Ops 3 also has the Giant, though, so it's like, technically you have, you know, three, and it has Shin Onuma, too, and Origins. So you're not beating Black Ops 3. Hate to say it. Even though it has this stuff, but Black Ops 3 is the best zombie experience. And this is point simple. You have every S tier, every A tier, and they threw in all this other crap because no one cared about it. I think there's a reason why they didn't include some of these B tiers on there, because it would just overpower the community in a sense. And for whatever reason, they didn't put like any Black Ops 2 maps in there. Like, they could have remastered Town, but they didn't. It was kind of weird. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up, boys. If you guys can, hit that like button. Comment below what else you guys want. Like I said, I think Tuesday morning we're probably going to be jumping in on Noctur on Toten, World at War, and doing our first setup challenge with it, which is essentially going to be either 2 LMGs. Essentially, we have to get the ray gun, and then either an LMG or I actually don't know what we're going to do for our first round. I think we might start off with just a game. Just a game. Just see kind of how far we go. Nothing too crazy. Maybe like a round 25 attempt or something like that, where it's not, or I guess that in World at War days that'd be pretty good. But like just something where, hey, I'm going to attempt to see the kind of what the map's about. Survive, you know, if I get to like the round 20, like 20 to 30-ish, like we're done. We'll probably start with that. It's just a gameplay of it first before we jump into the challenges, and we'll go from there. Okay? But yeah, if you guys have any other suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Sunny Ghosts, like I said, with the Pokemon rankings and stuff, you guys want to see more of these ranking kind of streams, by all means, let me know. I would love to maybe do like an original 151 Pokemon potentially. That'd be pretty cool. I'm sure they have something like that. But after we get done with the entire like World at War series of like between Noct, Varrock, Shin Onuma, and Darius / the Giant, like we'll kind of reevaluate this. See if Shin Onuma goes down. See if Darius and the Giant go up or down. See if, you know, Varrock or Noct go up or down. You know, there's a lot of things that can change with this. So just let me know what you guys want. What other challenges and stuff like that you want me to try potentially doing on these. To see maybe, you know, certain challenges that you guys provide might change my opinion about how these maps actually play. But that's going to wrap it up. If you guys are new to my channel, please, like you guys do hit that subscribe button as well. I'll see you guys on next time.